Hello, everyone, and welcome to an exciting review of a match between TJ and Scott. We would like to give a general commentary on this game and try to highlight the communication between handlers and cutters so that you can increase the amount of effectiveness as a cutter and, um, learn.
I like it. I was much more involved than I usually just kind of say whatever pops in my head. I'm gonna keep this muted so we don't have the.
To look at their power stack they come out with.
Yeah, it's a hotline. They have a good team. They were definitely their mental broke down. Not like their like intelligence, but just like their emotional fortitude kind of broke down. And that's what really got them in a hole.
I was trying to think about what the difference was, and I think TJ being mic'd up might have been the big difference between the halves.
Yeah, I think I'll talk about it when we get there. But I have my own thoughts on what happened there. I didn't see what happened for that incompletion. It looks like he might have forced it a little, but
it was a turn, just throw it. It went into the wall. I didn't have a chance to like blade towards me.
yeah, there are a lot of throws that both of our teams started really rough. We just
Can you rewind it? Can you rewind it to the TJ to Paul though?
Yeah. So right here,
So
it's
look
coming.
here. I have my mailbox flag up. I have my hand up, and TJ sees it, and like that's the communication, right? I don't just make the cut, but I'm looking, and I have the hand up for where I'm going.
That's
and the
that's good.
So that was good communication. It was just an unfortunate throw. If that was outdoor, that would be 100%.
I like the mailbox flag. I like that terminology there. That's really I like that. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, throw goes a little. I think that throw was a little late, and that was the problem because there was no longer a window by the time the disc left his hand. It kind of had to be into the wall.
Yeah, but it was good communication.
Yeah, no, I appreciated
And
that.
one thing we can look for is people who are open, but they aren't like communicating well. Like so, like if someone goes deep or someone has a good cut, but they don't like say anything, or they're not looking, we can just like say, hey, if they were looking or if they communicated with the handler, then they probably would have got the disc to them.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. We're gonna shout out Erin here. Erin is a freaking animal when she plays, dude. Look at she was like really she stepped up big in this game. That was really good defense there. Because there was nowhere for
Yeah.
that to go. Because there was no handler cut available. I think I need to work on. Obviously, I need to work on my handler motion. Because right there, like I didn't get open like I should have. Because right here,
Yeah.
what I needed to do.
Probably
Oh, I got
strike.
that wrong. Yeah, for my strike, I've been trying to be better. I needed to cut right at him and then either go around him or under him because I got the speed advantage. But I went too too deep there, and I just kind of like conceded it. If I would have had like 5 more yards of end zone, I think actually the throw was kind of open. He just kind of threw it too high.
Yeah, but I mean, you both looked at each other, and then he threw to the open space. I mean,
Yeah,
everything was there, like in theory.
yeah, because I was crossing his body right there. So yeah, I guess if it would have been like a floaty throw like right here, I think that would have been a completion for a touchdown.
Honestly, like a 7 cut. Like if you did like a 7 cut, that would have been uh,
Yeah, that's true.
it could have worked. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's true, because your defender was like right off screen here. So if I would have just slammed on the brakes and went that way, that would have at very least given you space to make a cut as a secondary bailout, or just give him like that step around. So that's a good point.
Yeah, but it was good in theory. Again, just PJ's gonna have 7 turns quick, and then he's gonna tighten up.
Yeah. Yeah, and right there, it's just no chill. Neither of our teams had chill the first 3 points of the game. Yeah, and this
So
right here is
look
the
at
dumbest cut.
TJ giving communication to his cutters, right? So you're only gonna notice that if you're as a cutter, you're looking.
Yep. He was telling me to cut over. I thought he was telling the person behind me to go over, so I like got out of the way, and then I was like, oh, he was actually talking to me, wasn't he? That was kind of dumb. So that was my bad. We talked about it after the point though. We were good. That was just my dizzle. And right here, again, this isn't the exact topic, but when I am the off handler, I don't need to be 10 yards back. I can be 5 yards back and have the same effectiveness here. So I think I just kind of lost just unnecessary yards. Because if Scott's going to be poaching up in this lane here, I can be here or I can be here. It's the exact same result, just extra yards lost. Just an experience thing. When I'm seeing it.
That was a good swing.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
So
but right here,
also, I pointed to Aaron. Aaron was wide open, and that was just a good cut by her to space. And she was looking at the handler, and that typically is a good pass.
Yep. The only coaching point, I think, is if we're going to get it right on that forced sideline, getting it off the sideline is a huge priority. But it worked. It was a little scary throw, but that worked out. Yeah, and there I jammed my toe into the wall super hard. That was horrible. That catch was horrible. It was off camera just because of the rail angle, but yeah. So that worked out. We'll skip on to the next point. Was that? I think that throw could have gone up if they wanted right there, but yeah, it was kind of hard. Good idea to reset it there. Yeah, this is something that I talked to Elizabeth after this of getting to the correct side of the mark, so I'm not gonna dig in it. Sorry, sometimes it goes blurry.
Can you go back to the beginning of this play?
Yeah. Like before this throw.
To the right when Dustin gets before the throw when Scott makes his under.
Yeah.
Just you can look. He points right there with his hand, like, hey, like he gives like a target and like, hey, I'm looking for it. So like if you're a cutter and you do that, it gives a little bit more communication to the handler that the cutter is expecting the disc like to that spot, right?
Yeah.
And like it gives them a direction. Like if you put your hand out like that, you're not gonna really like go a different direction. Like you're pointing out where you're gonna go.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Yeah, and I kind of just illustrated your point visually here too, where there's no eye contact here. Dustin was looking downfield and Scott was looking at the throwers. That was the other reason why I think that didn't go up.
Yeah, it happens too, right? Right. You can make a good cut, but sometimes through no fault of your own or like the handlers, you just don't see it because you're looking somewhere else.
Yeah. And this is a break side throw, and then you get under there and beat it up, which I love. Great defense there. I think that was just you hustling to get under there. It was a floaty throw that had like very little tempo on it. So I think that was the biggest factor, but it was a cross traffic, long, slow pass. I think that was great defense though. That's
Thank you.
That's what we do on defense, baby. Yeah, great straight cut by TJ.
That was a terrible push pass.
It was, but hey, it worked, so I'm not gonna talk about it. That was a punt. TJ said it afterward. That was a punt. And one thing that nobody lights on, but no one's home here. We need to recognize if this area here has no reset person. We need somebody there ready to fill that space. So that's the only other coaching point.
Also, if you're the handler and you notice that, just call for the reset too, because TJ was looking for one, but he could also like say, "Hey, I need a reset," or like point to Elizabeth to cut under, or like, just so that the two-way communication.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
He was probably distracted by that. He was probably distracted by that attempted leg block by Scott.
Dude, Scott, I love how Scott plays. Scott plays with so much intensity. I definitely appreciate Scott in the field. One thing that I like to do on the field also, instead of saying like somebody give me an under, I like to call out people by name. You know, just like Elizabeth under. That way people hear my name and I'm going to go. If you're going to get that communication, I think that makes things happen quicker if you're in a position to do so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the throw was a punt, and that was the correct idea. If you're at stall 6 and there's no opening, that was the right decision. And this was just like a focus thing by Mike there. He's a great player. Normally he doesn't do that. I think when it rains it snows, or when it rains it pours. So you know.
So right there, if you look at TJ looking and Matt had eye contact, and then Matt also points to where he wants it. And that was great communication. It's just 2M Pete always needs like a warm up catch.
Yeah, that was probably in a spot. And I'm gonna get, this is always my controversial opinion. If it's a difficult catch and high up, I like to see the claw catch or the rim catch instead of the pancakes. That's a hard pancake angle. To be fair to Matt, that was a difficult catch. But yeah, two-hand Pete needs that warm up.
It was a great example of communication.
Yeah. Yep. Great poach by you, by the way, Paul. That was outstanding defense. I want to highlight that real quick. So you're stand. I hit the back button. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm the worst. All right. So your guys over here. Wait a second. Here we go. Yeah. So your guys over here. So that basically you're saying you don't have to stand directly next to him, because you know that the open space is like here-ish. We'll even say like here-ish. So all you really have to do is just, let me see what I got here, is kind of just hover in this space here, knowing that if he makes any kind of move, then you're going to be able to pick it up. And if a pass comes over to him, you can just get right into it, which ultimately is what happens. So yeah, great job. And also great job not blindly sitting in that poach. You were closing in before that throw. Yep, good job getting that around there. I think Palms and I both have a tendency to lose a little bit more yards than we need to on those.
I was looking. I was aware of the reset, but I was also just waiting. I knew someone. I wanted to give time for a cut to develop before I did the dump.
Yep, we have a tendency as a team to get target fixation and kind of commit everything to that one cut. But yeah, that worked. That was a little scary, but it worked. So I'm not gonna question it. They were doing a good job of ignoring the pull, because I think also the fact that I kind of told them like Palm statistically has the best hammer pulls in the league by like literally like a 15% margin. That D was almost incredible.
It was incredible.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I that was kind of off screen to see what happened there, but I think he just got a little excited on that break side throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look to see if that was the best idea or not. And then that's just TJ being TJ.
Also, great throw by Palms.
Yeah, that was a great throw by Palms. We need to. I imagine in the future we're going to try to get him doing some more handle stuff in our rotation, because I think if TJ and I and Palms can cycle around, and even you, like just getting some more of us, a little bit more of those cutter reps, I think it'll help distribute the workload a little too. Because we asked a lot of you and Matt that game, as far as just being the workhorses of the team, as far as that running engine goes, you know. Yep. And that's another thing that you're going to see a lot from people. If you're a cutter and you see the handler do a pump fake like that, what they're telling you is, I'm not throwing it to you, so you need to change your direction, change your cut or clear. So by hovering around, he hovered around a little longer than he needed to there, because once you get that pump fake, you know it's not coming. Good no throw. Yeah, he got a little excited on that. I think they had a lot of these where they would get excited because they would see an opening and then they would want to just take it when got in there and ate it up. But they were kind of in their own heads too for this first half. So
A great cut by Aaron,
Yeah.
and then great reset too. I should have hit you probably.
Yeah. The only problem is if you get stuck on that four-side sideline, the margins disappear and it gets really
Oh, that
difficult.
was
Good job.
great communication between her and Matt.
Yeah, for sure. Great job of Matt filling that space. Yeah, you saw Matt actually looked for you before he actually saw you there. Matt said, "I'm looking for somebody to be here," and you were coming into that space. So that was also great. Just trust in the process, as far as handling goes. It's more formulaic than a lot of cutting goes. Not in. Yeah, and here Kevin says I was not in. I'm gonna go on a little ramble here. So right about there, I secure the catch, and you can see my foot is far back behind me because I clamped my feet down on the ground.
Yeah.
So by my very official line, that's probably not the most accurate. Probably like right there-ish. Like I'm in right here because I scratched the frick out of my leg for that. So
But
Kevin,
yeah, also the communication was there. We both were looking. We got the communication to cut back.
yeah, but I clamped my leg to the ground under me. I got turf burn really bad on it, but it was worth it. Kevin said I was out by a mile. That was definitely in. And plus, Scott was sitting there watching my feet the whole time, and he was kind of giving up before I even called myself in. So, suck it, Kevin. Calling you out, Kevin. Kevin said I wasn't in on the video, and he was wrong. That was in. I'm clean. I'm fresh. Just kidding. I love you, Kevin. You're great. No, I was in. I maintained my innocence there. So I had to ham that up a little bit. You know what I mean? But it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was in.
Yeah, this field isn't even a mile long, so you couldn't be out by a mile.
Yeah, got him. No, he said in his quote, he said I started the catch 3 yards out from the end zone and ended like 6 yards out. But no, I was in. I maintain that I was in. Our team has the best mental in the game, hands down, and I love it. I was so fired up this whole game too. It was awesome. That was intimidating. Yeah, just a lot of miscues as far as right here. Scott, I don't know what Scott thought Dustin was gonna put on the brakes and sit there in that open space because he
threw to him instead of to the space.
Yeah. I think the mentality was Scott thought, oh, he's poached, so he's going to sit there. And I don't think Dustin recognized how poached he was. And so what he was thinking was, there could be a guy behind me. I'm going to keep my momentum going and take that reset. So he almost got there, though. It's a good second effort. Yeah, good cut by Aaron. Yeah, I watched her make that cut all the way through, so I knew that's where it's going.
That was just good defense by Dustin.
Yeah, it was great defense by Dustin. I didn't realize his leg was going to be up. I probably shouldn't have done that final effort dive there. I didn't think his leg was going to come up in the air, and I kind of dove over his leg. I saw that there was green grass on the other side for me to land on, so I definitely did not land on his leg in any way, but I probably still shouldn't have pulled the trigger on that, so it's okay.
That looked kind of funny.
Yeah, but no, there was green grass there. The camera doesn't show it well, but he was like, yeah, that was all good, but I probably should have played that a little less. I'm not like sweaty in this league or anything. Just it's okay. I mean, we learned from it. Like as I was doing it, I was kind of like, probably should have just let that one go. Yeah, and you this is actually exactly what you were talking about right here. What's his name? I forget his name, but he had his arm up here. I didn't get him.
Joey?
He has his Joey. Yeah, sorry, I'm really bad at names. Yeah, Joey has his arm up like, hey, throw that around to me. I'm ready for that around. But then the thrower wasn't ready, and that's what got a high stall count situation. They got it off though, but it's a good example of.
Angel made a great cut there.
Yeah, Angel. I think Angel and Vince are the most improved players in the league, and I think it's awesome how much Angel has stepped up because she's like a big part of this team right now. Our team's a very nightmare matchup for her, so she was kind of quiet in that first half. But it's just because our team's kind of a nightmare matchup. But like, yeah, Yeah, I was all fired up after this. And Kevin's like, this one was in Mark, not the last one. I was like, oh, don't give me that sass, Kevin. Don't give me that sass. But yeah, no, anyway, like I was saying, I think Angel has been doing super great. I'm super happy for Angel. She should be really proud of what she's done. Hope her arm feels better too. She's about to get injured in this game. Spoiler alert. Yeah, good defense by Matt. Definitely prioritize the strike over the back, the whatever you call it, the around. Oh, rip. I don't even know what happened there.
It was
Was it behind you?
just yeah, I was flattening out. The problem, I think the issue was my cut. I was flattening out towards the sideline instead of coming back. Now that I look at it, at first I thought it was just behind me, but now that I see I like had like a momentum shift and he threw it to the initial line that I was running.
Yeah.
And then I yell at the camera not to give me a turn or a drop.
That's funny. Gotta pad those stats at all times, baby. I want to recognize here that Palms has the right idea. If you're not sure who to guard, you always take away the imminent threats downfield. The mark can come last. So that was a good job by Palms. I would rather have a person with the disc sit there for 5 seconds with no stall than have a stall but somebody wide open in the end zone for 5 seconds. Also, great defense there.
So TJ threw to space, but I don't think I don't think they had that space communicated because Palms looked like he was going to cut to the right side.
Yeah.
And Desk looked like went left.
Yeah, a little bit of maybe of a chemistry. Oh, actually, yeah, I think Palms wanted to cut that way. He just set up his cut a little longer. So, that's okay.
Like, Joe was real excited about that turn.
Yeah, Joe, yeah, he had a little bit of rough first half just from a psychological perspective. He got in his own head a lot. But they recovered though. They played well in the second half. That was just good defense. They had a lot of their throws lack tempo, and that was a huge thing that plagued them throughout the whole game. You know, like sometimes you have to throw them like faster and lower, and sometimes you can throw them higher and loftier, and you got to just feel out that tempo of the disc. And they pretty consistently threw them too soft, so that they had just too much hang time. Or especially in the second half, they just were sort of line driving.
That was a bad push pass there. That was the bad one.
Yeah, in general, push passes are a little don't always need them. But yeah,
that was a decent throw.
Yeah, it was a hard throw, honestly, and that's a really blurry frame for me to be on. I'll see if I can try to find a little bit less. But from this perspective here, you generally are going to want to throw open more on scheme. Like, throw something over to this area of the field instead of over the top and hope it dies perfectly over top of them. It's just a much more difficult throw with that back wall. Great defense. But, that was a very difficult throw that, he committed to. That's the only feedback. But at the same time, it's hard because I didn't get a good look at what it looked like before the throw went up. So it's possible he just made a really, really great defensive play. Yeah, and that's another I
was like, what? I was so confused at that throw.
Yeah, this is I think that was more a frustration throw. It was just like I'm frustrated. I want to get it out. Yeah. Yeah, it was unfortunate that, that was a problem with the team that they were experiencing. Yeah, it always sucks, Yeah, and Joey just started poaching really hard on everything because I think he just got frustrated as a whole. Great round cut. Good rotation there. Keep the disc moving. Yep, another great look. You could probably, if you wanted to, when you're this poached, if you wanted to sit like up here, you could actually, if you wanted, gain a few more yards if you know that if your defender's not there. That was good positioning fundamentally, though. I'm not going to say that was a bad position by any means. Just fun little tidbit you can roll with.
So right there, I just want to point out, if you go back to when Palms gets the cut, like right when we throw to Palms,
Yeah, right.
right? So if you're gonna pause here, you're just gonna pan over, and if Elizabeth puts her hand and like points to the space in front of her to Palms while she's looking at him, he'll throw that right. Because
Yeah.
look at that. So, but she's kind of he looks, and I don't know if she's looking or if he sees that she's confident in the space. But he could have,
Yeah.
if she could have had that communication there.
Yeah, I actually told Elizabeth on the sideline. I was like, "Hey, listen, be more confident. You're just as much an important part of the team as everyone else, because she sees space very intuitively. She just doesn't have the
Yeah,
confidence to
she's got
want
to
to get in there."
communicate to the handler that says, "Hey, throw that to the space for me," and
Yeah,
then it'll go up for
yeah, I
her.
want to see Elizabeth hungry for that, because she's like, "I just don't want to cut in someone else's space," and I'm like, "Nah, girl, it's your space just as much as it is ours." So
Because like if you say if I see that and I see her with that like hey throw that to me with like she points to it with her hand and we both look at each other make eye contact like I will put that up for
oh
her
yeah,
and she will go get it.
oh yeah, I'll put up every time. Elizabeth's actually she's gonna be a really good cutter, because she has very good intuition. Because like I don't have the best intuition as far as cutting goes. I'm just a nerd. Oh, sorry, I'm just a nerd. I'll blur that out. I'm just a nerd. So like I just grinded through it. But Elizabeth has very good intuition. Yeah. The only thing, and this is something I was telling Aaron about here. The only reason I'm pausing for this, when there's when you're marking a thrower, and they make any kind of pass towards the force side of the field, what you always want to prioritize, don't even bother looking where it goes, start running that way. Because they're going to throw it and they're going to make a strike cut. That's actually what they ended up doing the whole second half, because she was watching it and then Scott gets ahead of her for that strike. And then she has to work super hard to catch up. So that's the big thing that for Aaron to work on. But once she gets that, I mean, she's been playing like a monster on defense. Yeah, actually, this is something where, to your other point, as I'm making this cut here, I look back at TJ and I'm thinking in my head, should I round out here for a pass? And I see that TJ's not looking at me, and I recognize, because I know my defender's coming under, and I said, he's not looking at me. I'm not going to make that cut, because by the time that he looks at me and goes to throw it, it's going to be too late. So I just commit to clearing right away.
And you open it up for Aaron.
Yep. So that's kind of the point where if at that point I had just played really formulaic and said, oh, look, I got my opening, I'm going to take this for that, my defender would have been right on top of that, and it would have not been open. So that's, the idea there. Try to maintain that communication, even if it's just, general eye contact to see what's coming and what's not. I think this one was just out of... Oh, he got a hand on it. That's what happened there. Great defense. Absolutely fantastic defense. Height mismatch makes me feel bad about myself. But no, he played that super well, so he deserves all credit for that turn. Because that wasn't even a bad throw. That was just... I'm talking about it while not showing it again. But yeah, it wasn't even a bad throw. Like, I got the height to get there, just not with him making that play there. So that was... If that had been outdoor, I might have caught that, though. I was just looking at the wall. So, yeah. And then this is where Angel gets injured. Super unfortunate. I'm not sure what happened exactly. She hurt her arm. Because her arm hit me in the ribs.
She hyperextended the elbow. Her arm was hyperextended, and then she rammed it hyperextended into your ribs.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, I was looking at it, and I was, really concerned. I was like, did I make a dangerous play? Because I was, very careful to not. But, I intentionally took my momentum away from both of the players there, and I was going away, and then I swiped the disc from behind. So I was, being very careful. But, yeah, oh, actually, wow, you can kind of see her. I don't know. Actually, I don't know, because I couldn't tell from there. But I was, I don't know. You hate to see it. Super unfortunate. I hope Angel feels better from that. That sucks. It just, I was slow to recognize it because it wasn't a hard hit on me either. I was just like, oh, are you okay? And then
No,
she's
it
like, ow.
just popped the elbow the wrong way.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sucks. You know, and I actually was walking up, and I thought she was just like calling a foul, and I was like, I didn't realize how hurt she was at first because it just wasn't a big hit. Yeah, that sucks though. You know, it kind of humbles you. You know, you never know. 'Cause sometimes you just get a little nudge in an unlucky way, and it just happens. So, yeah, that sucks. You know, I felt really bad. So, yeah, hopefully she feels better. Like I said, I'm super. Angel should be super proud of the progress she's made this
The
season.
most disappointing part was that she brought her flag to do a halftime show for the primetime game, but then she couldn't do it, and that thought just gives me tears in my eyes.
Yeah, that sucks. You hate to be a part of any of those plays too, but yeah, hopefully she feels better. That was just such a freak thing, you know. It sucks.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, and with Angel out, it created a lot of very difficult matchups for the rest of the game, and I think that was a pretty big factor for the second half of this game as well. Because yeah, both Aaron and Elizabeth suddenly started having very difficult matchups. A little hard to see. I would complain about the camera angles, but I did the camera work in the game after this, and my camera work was way worse than this. So I don't want to. I don't want to talk smack. Yeah, that was a chemistry. Yeah, that was a chemistry cut. We played summer league together, so we both, TJ and I both love making the quick guy 7 cut.
Oh no, wait! Look at Scott try to block that.
Oh, I missed it. Okay.
Like pause it when he puts his hands up. No, go back a second.
Go frame by frame here.
Oh.
No, Scott plays with intensity. Like I definitely like I have so much respect for Scott as an athlete. Like he plays with everything he's got.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no, he plays with a lot more speed than somebody his size should have, and it's 100% just effort that closes that gap. So, yeah, we're gonna laugh about it, but it's out of respect. Like I have a ton of respect for him as an athlete.
Yeah.
Great mark by Palms. Yeah, and this is just a situation where yeah, this is a hard matchup for Elizabeth here. Just because she's still learning a lot of the force side, break side fundamentals.
Yeah, that was good communication between Joey and Dustin too.
Yeah. Yeah, I told her too. It's like, hey, keep your head up on that one. That one was not. We learned from those. But they definitely benefited from, obviously from the mismatches that came from the injury to Angel, and that's not like oh, they got a better roster now. It's just with the mismatches, it's hard because our team has two ladies on it, which makes it harder too.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
I love Palms. Does not care at all. He's just like, oh, this is my disc, thanks. Great defense too. It was just Palms being a beast. When TJ drafted Palms, this is a fun little side story. When TJ drafted Palms, I was like, who's Zach? And he goes, trust me, you'll love him. That's all he said. So he's like a lot like you, but you'll love him. And I was like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so confused. Like I kept thinking, like, how did he go over Dustin and Walsh? Like it just didn't make sense. Still doesn't.
Yeah, no, he's the real deal. He's the real deal. He does not care at all. Yeah, Palms made a little bit of adjustment because they weren't catching it to throw it lower. I think that was actually a win from their team. I think we just got to keep playing our game there. It was actually a good. I don't know if Scott decided before the game to do that, but they came in with a plan, and that actually worked really well. Good job by Aaron there. When Matt went back to help her matchup going deep, she knew to stick with the same guy. So right here, Matt comes back and Matt's like, hey, I'm helping you deep, Aaron. And then Aaron's just like, oh, okay. And then I'm going to keep with, right there, I'm going to keep with my guy. Because for gender, if you're going to roll in coverage with gender mismatches, or with gender matchups, you don't want to switch. All you do is, as a male player, if you're helping like a female player go deep, you stick, like the female player sticks to their defender. And then once she catches up, then you come back to your person. And the same if it's a female rolling for a male. In general, you don't want to just cause rolls like that without planning it in advance. So that was good communication. Matt called that out very well, or Aaron called that out well. I'm not sure which. So, and this is the thing that they had so many of these.
That's pretty crazy.
They had so many of these kind of things. So unfortunate because you got the hand on it, 2 hands on it, just not at the same time. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yep, good job calling for that. Yep, so one
Great
thing
mark by Scott.
Yeah, that was an outstanding mark by Scott, just contesting that reset. In general, I like to, when I'm a handler, unless I'm in desperation time, try to commit to that reset once I look at somebody, but that worked out, so I'm not going to go into my lecture on it. Great cut, by the way. Yeah, really good mark by Scott. Yeah, you were just open there. Good job.
I was looking back, made eye contact, and had my hand up. So then that was like all he needed for the punt on stall 6.
Yeah. Hard to see here. Good. That was a good mark by Palms, recognizing when he doesn't need to shade over. And I was just bad defense by me. That shouldn't have worked. Oh, this was the last second of the half. That's right. That's why I overcommitted. That was a mistake on my part. Right here, I overcommitted on defense because there's so little time on the board. And then by the time I recognized, oh shoot, there's still enough time for this, then because that should have been a completion on my part. I sprinted over there to see if I could get it off in time, but the buzzer went off for half, and I was like, rip. So we'll blow through. We'll just do the whole game right now because we're breezing through stuff. Usually I stop a lot more, so yeah, we'll just do the whole game as long as you're okay with that. We're like 40 minutes in right now. Okay,
no
cool. Awesome. I should have just thrown it to you right there. That was
that's fine. You want to give chances. I'm a reset, not the first cut.
Yeah, when I did that pump fake, I should have just looked up and threw it to you though. That's the coaching point. I'm learning a lot, and our team's been really patient with me, but like, I'm just not used to being in that handler role. Oh, it ended up working out anyway. But yeah, I have a lot to learn about being like an actual like, the handler, as opposed to just like some hybrid where I can just clear out and go back to cutting if something doesn't work out right. So yeah, I've been working on it. Hopefully I'll keep improving.
So this is the second half, and they do make a comeback in the second half.
Yeah, they make a really good comeback.
Try to diagnose it.
If memory serves, the 2 things that were a big factor, or the 3 things that were a big factor, are number 1, our swings fell apart. We just didn't have communication. We had like 7 or 8 turns just on handler swings. They were making crazy catches on crazy throws. And also the lack of a gendered matchup was very difficult. Especially when we had 2 women out. There. Yeah, it was. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over that.
No, yeah, that's fine. I agree.
Great job getting that off. Great swing recognition right there, because Palms' defender is that Palms' defender? Or is one of these 2 is Palms' defender, and they were just way off of him. And that just opened up the break side. And just to give a little bit of a lesson on why swinging the disc is so valuable, I think this is a perfect example. So right now, the force is away. So the mark comes up here and doesn't allow anything to this side of them. So the open space is like this way. So as a defender downfield, as a defender, you know that if your receiver runs this way, it's not a threat, because if a throw is coming up, it's going to be super high and floaty. But when the disc gets swung, and especially when there's no mark, suddenly this is the open space. So like, because if you're here and your defender is here, is that Mike? I can't tell. Mike was in the correct position. Mike did everything right, but this swing made him wrong. And that's just kind of something where this is a rigged sport, and there's just there's nothing you can do about it. Like, Mike did everything right there. It was just the circumstances made him wrong, and that was, enough for the score. If there's any commentary you want on that too, feel free to.
Oh yeah. Also, I recognized the swing, so I started making the cut. Tried to make it as I saw the swing go off. Yes. I knew I would be open, so I was trying to give him that first continuation cut on the break.
Yeah, outstanding point. The biggest advantage the offense has over the defense is the offense has much more situational awareness. Your eyes are up at the disc. His eyes are down at your hips. Or he's actually looking at, like, you, but he's looking at you and not the disc. So you recognize the disc is getting swung before he does, and you can capitalize before he does if you're immediate like you were. Yeah, that's a really great point. Oh my god, okay. we got that. We got that one in there. I think that has to be the thumbnail, right? That has to be a thumbnail. I think it's the law, right? Okay. Yep, and this is something where right here, Elizabeth has the wrong mark, and we talked about this, and we'll get this cleaned up. Not a big deal. Elizabeth is still learning a lot here, and she's been improving a lot. She wants to be on this side to force away here. So what I did was I didn't even bother marking here. I actually positioned my body here to help set that force artificially. So I'm like, yeah, you get a free swing to Scott, but downfield, there's no break throws coming up. Unless I jog on defense here. You hate to see it. So right here, the swing comes, and I go jog, 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 and then he throws it right around me. So all of that work was for nothing. But, yeah, I just got to work harder. That's all there is to it. Good no throw, by the way. Right here, yeah, great no throw there, because I was definitely going to be able to take that away. A disciplined throw there. Yeah, and those are the kind of throws where they were just like jamming them through. I don't want to say jamming. That's probably a more negative connotation. They were throwing very, very high tempo passes that are very difficult throws. I mean, good for him for completing that and both the throw and the catch. So I don't want to say like they were just jamming it. Like that was an outstanding play. But those are the things that they needed to execute. Good cut by
Dustin, good communication. They knew what they knew to do.
Yeah, nothing but respect as far as that goes, because they had to play super aggressive to catch up, and that's exactly what they did to close it within 2, despite being down like 6. So that was, yeah. That's it. Yeah, jam is the wrong word. Great communication here. I actually told, is that Palms with the disc? I told Palms, I was yelling, no, 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 because I saw the defender. I pointed with my finger, I'm an idiot. All right, I saw the defender coming down, and I was yelling, don't throw it. I was yelling, don't throw it, don't throw it, and then Palms didn't throw it, and I was like, cool. That's all I needed for him to not throw a turnover. So that was an example of communication. And right here, this is a perfect example of Elizabeth just needing a little bit more confidence. She did all of the work. She made an outstanding cut using her instincts. She has very good intuition here. She just needed to continue a couple more steps, and I'm going to throw it right to her. But she started putting on the brakes to swing too early.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she wanted to swing back around this way, and I was actually pointing at her. I was like, come back.
She came under hard with like her hand out, like, hey, I'm ready. Like, you would throw that 100%.
Oh, yeah. I actually wanted to throw it super bad. As I was pointing, I was telling her, like, hey, come back. I'll get it on video. I was pointing with my fingers. I was like, hey, come back foreside. I'm still going to throw it to you. But she swung. And I was like, rip. Okay. So, yeah. I think the big coaching point to Elizabeth is you are a much better cutter than you think you are. I 100% have confidence in you. Own that space you're in. Get in there.
Yeah, cut to space and tell the handler that you're cutting to that space, and then the disc will come to that space.
Also, I didn't know this disc. I didn't see this disc get thrown up. I don't know why. I think it's because of the tempo change. I just thought it was going to get pulled around, and I just didn't see it. So that was actually, as far as like once the throw left her hand, that was my fault that was a turnover. The camera didn't show it well, but that was my fault. And I just want to point out, Scott did me dirty here, because I'm here, I didn't have a low hand, and he saw that and just threw under me. And that feels so bad for somebody who's like a foot taller than me, or how many inches taller than me, to get under me. Like that should not happen.
Step out.
That was an outstanding step. And it's because I was just greedy. I had my hand vertical. My hand should have been lower. My hand just should have been lower. I didn't. And Scott recognized that and absolutely ate my lunch.
We should redo the intro and just say we're just gonna review Scott.
Scott's a beast. Yeah, Scott, you're a beast, dude. If you're watching this, good for you, man. I'll put it in the description. Scott's a beast. I'll ping him in the group me. I think this is another example of me losing more yards than we needed to lose. Like, I didn't need to lose this many yards. And, yeah, right here, this is a good, like, because Matt's right here taking away all that open space.
Yeah, no comment here. I don't know.
But, and that was just me getting burnt to the open side of the field because I don't know why. He should not have beaten me. I might have stumbled a little. I don't know. It's probably just a mental mistake on my part. Yeah, it was a mental mistake. He's taller than me. I let it get in my head.
I think he was cutting to the break side, and you gave up the force side mark, maybe.
Yeah. I was confident guarding Dustin until this point. I told TJ, I was like, I will guard Dustin until they make me pay for it, because Dustin's a really good cutter and like can beat me if he's playing confident and the throwers are throwing good passes to him. That was kind of the decision point. I was like, I'll guard him until he starts playing like himself, and that's when he woke up. And I was like, all right, this is gonna be hard if I have to keep guarding him.
I really enjoyed playing, like, most of the points I played against Walsh, and it was just fun. It was a fun matchup.
Yeah, great intensity coming down on that pull too. He was doing that the whole game, getting great intensity. Right there, I knew that Mike was far behind me, so I didn't need to run to it. And it was kind of just me being greedy. I should have kept running to it. I should not have stopped him in stationary there. That was just, I should not have done that. Don't do that at home. As I was doing it, I was like, I know this is stupid.
I wasn't sure if that was to me or not.
The rule of when in doubt, if it's humanly possible for you to catch it, always catch it. If I were throwing to somebody else and you're able to catch it, it was a bad throw, and the responsibility is fully on me. Yeah, so just always catch it if it's near you. That was to you, but again, that was my fault. Excuse me, that was my fault as far as, anything that goes.
I had to like stutter step in the hesitation. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was high enough where I wasn't sure.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah. If it's humanly possible for you to get the disc on offense or defense, just go get it. That's the moral of the story. Yeah, and this is just you hate to see it. But yeah, we had some really hard matchups after Angel went out. And Aaron and Elizabeth both played super hard, but it was just, we asked a lot of them.
I'm going to be bewildered by Scott here and just throw a stupid throw. I felt like it might have been confused, but he had a really good mark.
Yep, the coaching point for this is just if you're throwing to a handler, just if it floats, I'll go get it. Because even if you float it in a non-ideal spot, I will put my body in between the defender and the disc, and I will make sure that I get there first. It was just a little too far, and I just couldn't. The problem was I had to turn so much, so I couldn't maintain it.
It was a bad throw.
Yeah. Yeah,
I did that. I did that reset successfully like every other time, multiple times throughout. It was just
Yep.
I think Scott kind of bewildered me.
Yeah, dude, Scott played out of his mind this game. I didn't realize how crazy Scott played this game until we watch it back. Yeah, Scott, you're a beast. Good for you. But yeah, we had a lot of very hard mismatches. So I hope Aaron and Elizabeth both know, like, like they weren't like making flashy plays during this, but like they were playing super well considering like what they were being asked to do. So I told both of them individually after the game. I was like, I hope you guys are really proud of how you played this game. Okay, so this is something where I was actually made the right cut. I made the strike. I recognized the strike was not going to happen because my defender. I could use my cursor instead of pointing with my actual finger at my monitor.
And
All right.
hold on, wait. As you're saying this, look, Aaron is ready to do the reset. If you make the strike too.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Great cut, Aaron. Yeah, so basically what I did was I recognized, like, hey, this is not happening because my defender's poached. I'm just going to make that around. Come right back from hence I came. Yep, that was a really good point. I didn't even notice that. Great cut, Aaron. That's exactly correct. Because if I made that strike, then the Aaron's filling that space. Great cut by TJ. Or great throw by TJ, excuse me. So I want to throw out, this is some foreshadowing. I do this cute thing sometimes when I know what the space is where I don't look. I kind of just throw a no look. And this absolutely bites me in the butt later. Just to throw that out there. This is foreshadowing. As far as me being an idiot. Yeah, this throw.
I think it's just good defense by Ferris.
Yeah, inaccurate throw too, unfortunately. TJ thought I was gonna hold still and sit there in that 45 and hold still, but I can't hold still at that 45-degree angle. I could draw again. Yeah, TJ thought I was gonna be at this angle and hold still, but I can't hold still because my defender's coming, so I have to keep coming across.
Yeah, but Ferris had to be there to capitalize on the mistake too.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, he did a great job of making that. And this is the perfect example of, as you see me getting wrecked. On defense, you never force turnovers. You force low percentage passes. And this is a perfect example of it. He didn't force TJ to throw there. He forced TJ to throw a perfectly accurate pass with good tempo. TJ just made a slight error, which shouldn't have caused a turnover, except that Matt made it be a turnover. So that was outstanding by Matt. I think that perfectly highlights the principle there. Yeah, and that was just another, like, how does that work? That was just, like, perfectly sitting over your head.
Dustin was looking, like, Dustin was ready. There was communication, and Mike puts it up to him.
Yeah, Mike was lighting it up, too. That was such a good throw, too. It just perfectly sat above, like, literally 6 inches out of your reach. That was a great throw.
Yeah, it was great. I was sad, but I was like, I can't be sad about that.
Yeah, no disrespect at all for them. That was they earned that point. That was such a good throw by Mike. You hate to see it on defense. I don't know if that was the correct pass there for me to continue that, because all I did was basically push it to the fourth side of the field for like a one-step gain. I probably should
watch TJ here. He's gonna look for Matt as the first cut, and then let's see when he looks for the reset. Like there's Matt immediately going for you, in the strike cut, or it's the same cut really. The palms did.
Yeah. Coaching point. I should have been paying attention. My defender's poaching the strike space. I shouldn't be cutting strike. I need to come around here because it's free. And actually, TJ looked at me as if I was going to go for the around, and for some reason, I went for that strike. So that was actually a handler mistake on my part. But it's a good coaching point. It's hard, because I'm getting used to it. It's been hard. Great cut to get open by palms though, because that actually was kind of important. Because Mike was just sitting there. I didn't need to do that. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't need to do that. So, oh well. Oh, I don't want to beat myself up too much. I like that motion. Get it back to the break side of the field. Get passes. Get up. Unfortunate.
Yeah,
right
it
here,
was. He could have snuck it in, but honestly, it was a bad throw.
Yeah, it was something, especially when you're not like in a handler role. It's kind of when you're in a cutter role, even if it's me, I've been in the handler role. Even when I'm in the cutter role on principle, I try to be more chill about it. Because as you're cutting, your focus is back down, like downfield, and you don't always have the best awareness upfield. And that's why a lot of times when we say be more chill, reset it more with more priority, as a cutter, you have less awareness upfield. Usually, as handlers, like when you're in the handler role, your eyes are downfield the whole time. So when you get the disc in your hands, you already have that mental map of what the field is. But when Matt caught it, he only had about 1.5 seconds, maybe, to read the entire field, and that's why he just didn't get that accurate pass. So, whenever we say, like, as cutters, just get, after, like, one stall, get it right back to a handler, or whatever number you pick. That's the reason why. It's not because we don't trust you to throw. It's because, as a cutter, your downfield situational awareness is a lot lower, and you're kind of throwing away an advantage.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, though, it wasn't a bad throw. Like, he had that 1 second looked. It was just, he just didn't put the right angle on the disc.
Yeah, he just didn't have time to get that all locked in. Because my defender's right here, and I'm actually over, like, I'm going to go over here. So I was actually about to make a cut, like, right over here for, like, a wide open as well. But it's okay. I mean, it happens. Yeah, you're right. That actually was not a horribly inaccurate throw. It just didn't have enough time to mesh together. Like, I'm not going to, like, try to dog on anybody too much, but that's kind of the fundamental principle of why we say to cutters, just get it back to a handler. That's a reason why. It's not like we don't trust you to throw it. It's just, like, even if there's a handler and a cutter role, and that was just me playing bad defense. But, yeah, that's the reason why. I didn't need to repeat that like 7 times, but here we are. That was nasty, by the way. That whole interaction there. As far as that cut right back break side and that angle, that was the perfect angle to take advantage of that seam. Because with the 4-side space here, like, this is the 4-side space, and there was just this perfect seam that he just followed right up there. That was nasty. I wasn't even mad about that. I was just like, damn, I got. It just feels bad. Great cut. Great throw. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel that cleanly. Feels bad. Yeah, and again, I don't know if this is the ideal strategy here. When I make my strike here, I actually pump fake hesitate here because I look that TJ's not looking at me. So I was like, oh, shoot, I should probably hesitate for a second to give him a chance.
Can you go back for a second? Elizabeth comes into frame and out of frame. Like, she's doing, like, the drawing of the cut from perfectly. But if you don't cut strike and she, like, looked at TJ and put her hand out, like, hey, I'm good on this under, like, there it is, it's there again, right? She's doing, like, the under and then the reset absolutely perfectly. But, like, if she comes under with, like, that, like, I'm here, and she commits a little bit further to it, she'll be seeing, like, those unders come to her, like, all the time.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. And the best part is, if Scott sees this and tries to come over and take that away, that's just gravy, because I'm just going to get a free swing, like, over here. But yeah, that's a really good point. Elizabeth made a really good cut there. She has a lot of really good cuts. She doesn't have the confidence to finish them, so we're working on that. I think Scott just got in the way. I think TJ saw Scott out of the corner of his eye as he was throwing it and had to, like, force it a little bit, and that's why the throw was inaccurate. Once again, Scott being a beast. I'm 95% sure that Scott caused that turnover by just being there and not letting TJ put the space that he wanted on it.
Yeah.
So. Great defense by Palms there. Good job swinging it. One thing that Palms did good on defense here, as a general rule, is closing in, taking away that first look. So basically, he saw that Mike wanted to throw it. So instead of running over and just trying to put the stall immediately, put the mark immediately, he's stalling because he's within 10 feet. He jumps to take away that first throw. And then says, all right.
That's a great point.
Yeah, you want to make them change their throw. And once again, that's the exact same thing they were doing the second half. Like, that is an accurate throw with tempo. If he threw this in the first half and it would have been a little bit slower, Matt would have eaten that up. It was a very accurate throw with high tempo. Just
Yeah,
what do you do?
that was a great defense by Matt, like trying to recognize the throw coming and
Yeah, it
giving
wasn't.
an effort.
Yeah, it wasn't even a bad defense by Elizabeth. That was a breakside throw. Like it was a breakside cut. It was just, yeah, it was nasty. And now it's like a 2-point game. So it's like, all right, now we gotta start playing. You know, we gotta make an adjustment.
That
Yeah,
was a great catch.
yeah. I don't like falling to the ground when I catch, but I had to there because it was just like I couldn't get under it in time. So I was like, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, but I think that because it was so bladey, it was hard for Ferris to defend it too.
Yeah, this is actually the time when that whole no looky thing. I went to throw a no look and I realized that Palms is like literally 10 yards farther down backfield than I thought he was. I thought Palms was standing right where the disc is, but Palms is like all the way back here. This is like a 15-yard dump. I wasn't ready for that. That was a huge monster dump. Or the super dump, is that what they call it?
Super dump.
Yeah. Coaching point, you don't need to be that far back, but absolutely 100% responsibility on me. I should never throw a pass without fully recognizing where it is. I thought he was going to be that far back, so I just threw it right to the defender. Let me get this out. There we go. So that feels bad. That was my fault. It's because I kind of had that no-look mentality where I committed to throwing before I knew what was there. So that was the foreshadowing paying off. There you go. Feels bad. Unfortunate throw by Scott. All right, there we go, Scott. That was the conservation of greatness right here. This throw is just a little offline. It's all right, though.
Yeah, that hurts. I don't know.
Yep.
It looked like it wasn't too bad.
Yep. And one thing just to call out here, for as far as just like on the field, we need to talk to each other more. Like I actually told Elizabeth where to stand. I was like, hey Elizabeth, go stand like right on the line or go stand right there, and that's where I want us to set the stack. And Elizabeth was like, okay, great, because that was just helpful because she's still learning where to set a stack, just to make sure our stack is the appropriate distance downfield. Great defense by Scott there. That was a really good poach. I was super dramatic on this catch because I thought Matt was gonna be like hitting me as I caught this. That's the only reason I caught it so dramatically. It's for the record. And then that was a scary throw by me. Again, I think I did the exact same thing that you did, except I got away with it and you didn't. It just seems more floaty. Because then we just lost like 30 yards because of my bad throw. That was a great interaction there. I was thinking if I wasn't saying it out loud, it's probably stupid while making a video. So I make my strike cut here, and the strike cut was never going to work because there's another defender here, and I kind of knew off the get-go, like this strike cut is going to fail miserably, but by making it, this defender's going to probably stay with me, and it's going to open up somebody else. So then you make a cut around, which is the correct cut, the defender commits to it, and then the guy that was poached gets the pass right there. So that was a really great synergy interaction there. And then
Yeah,
I'm short. TJ
that
got
was
excited. Yeah, TJ got excited. It's easy to do. Like, he was like throwing it from the stance there. Feels bad. Just take your time.
He was trying to do like the buzzer beater at the end of a quarter.
Yeah.
Like catch throw it in the midair.
I was poached, so just take your time. Throw that accurately. And honestly, if we had a tall team, I'm pretty sure like Matt would have caught that. Like Matt Ferris would have caught that. Dustin probably would have caught that. You probably would have caught that. It was just over my head because I'm like 5.5 feet tall cleat height. You know what I mean? Like I'm short. Feels bad. Yeah. Feels bad. But what are you going to do? You got the genetics you got, Good pass right there. Excuse me. You know what? This is probably one of like two circus catches that didn't get executed this half by their team though, by Scott's team. Scott's team played so well in the second half as far as making those things work, you know, which is good for them. Yeah, there you go. That was a more accurate pass. It was a little high, but that was more floaty, you know. Because if it's floaty, you have a lot to work with. And I think this point, like especially our handlers, like we were kind of over exaggerating the resets because that's been the biggest weakness of our team by far. So I think I'd rather us overcompensate than under. You know, there are a lot of handle motions that like stuff. Yeah, like right here, this is another perfect example. Elizabeth making the absolute perfect cut, but she starts letting up because she does, you know, just if you speed up and get right into that space, Elizabeth, you're wide open for a touchdown right there.
You could also call like palms, and like point.
Yeah. But yeah, right here, like Palms actually looks at her, but because she was slowing up and going towards the wall, he's like, I can't throw that anymore. So, you know, the only coaching point, Elizabeth, is just be more confident. I believe in you. I almost dropped that, by the way, for the record.
It's not necessarily to run to the space, but it's you run through the space and then reset. I'm like, oh, there's the space. All right, I'm gonna reset. It's like, oh, just run through it and then reset.
Yeah, yeah. I almost dropped this. It was behind me. I wasn't expecting it to be behind me, and I was just like, oh, boop, boop, boop. I got it though. Yeah, so right here, Aaron does a good. So Aaron has two choices right now. She didn't. For the record, Aaron, you didn't do anything wrong here. Don't. I'm not going there with this. As a mark, so the mark is here, and the force is home force. So as a defender, you have two options. You can either stick to your person, or you can come up and poach this open space. You chose to stick with your person, which is totally fine. But just so you know, you had the option to take that away if you want, ever in the future. If you're ever in this exact situation, if you want to drift up here and position your body here, then he has to throw around this way, and then you can just sprint up and put up on a mark. So that's the other option you have, just for a handler-defender situation. Excuse me. And the other thing, if you're behind, like right here, if you're behind your person on defense, like here's your receiver and here's you, the best thing to do here, if you're trying to catch up, but you don't know where he's going to cut, is just cut straight and just get behind him. Because if they're going to catch something under, that's fine. Just don't let him get deep on you. That's the coaching point. If you're ever stuck in this, because this happens to all of us, you know, I mean, you can definitely back me up on this. Everybody does this every now and then. When you're like, oh, I lost my person and I don't know where they're going, just book it downfield, just even in a straight line. Just get behind them. That's the where you want to go. No way that throw works. I didn't even notice how crazy of a throw this was. No way that throw works.
That should not work.
No, they had so many of these. And you know what? They needed to go clutch time in order to win this game. And, okay, and then they throw it away. Okay, but it balances out. But they worked their butts off to get back in this game, though. So, mad props for that. Yeah, great cut by Palms. I can't see what's happening. Yeah, I would comment. I just can't see what's going on. Yeah, good cut.
Yeah, he points me out. Good communication.
Yep. Yeah, hey, I'm throwing it to you. Don't do anything dramatic. It's coming. I need to do that more. I think you actually talked to me about that after the game, that I need to do that more. So I will do that more. But that's a really good point.
Throw, I like to bring this throw up because Matt scored on Dustin.
Yeah. You posted that in the group. I was like, why though? Yeah. Look at
That
TJ's
was just
moves.
that was a good throw. But also Dustin was guarding Matt and held Matt to 1 point. Um,
I know we're an hour and 12 minutes into this video, but can we just appreciate TJ's moves right here? Ooh, yeah, that's sick. It's just like, let's go. That's awesome.
yeah, those were the business is booming on TJ's team.
Yeah, no, even when we're losing, our team has the best mental in the league, and I'm proud of that. Our team is tilt proof. Oh, that was almost so epic by Aaron. She came in here, and if that throw would have gone up, she would have eaten it up. She overcommitted just a bit, but like that was the right idea. And as somebody that's still learning space, I would love to see you commit to that than not. So super happy with that. Two hands, Scott. Feels bad. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. But two hands. Those mottos. Two hand Pete. We'll give you some private lessons later. This is something that Palms is actually making a habit of. When he's poached, he does a good job of just being that extra reset there. Because I did not get open at all. And it feels bad, so. Yeah, I had a hard time seeing what's going on here. And this is where, just how do you catch that? The second.
That was pretty incredible, yeah.
Just to point out here, the other option that you have is if you wanted to swing around that way. I thought I could get it in time. All right. So right here, if you wanted to come around here and be a reset, you could. It was low in the stall count, so you had the option because you pointed like you were going this way. This is definitely a viable cut.
I think he waves me off, but like that's just a good exchange where, I'm like, hey, throw it over here. He's like, nah. And then like, okay. And then like, that's like completes the exchange.
Yep. Yeah, great. That's true. If you're ever in this position and it's like stall 4, stall 5, this is definitely the cut you want to make just to get that reset, but you didn't need to in this situation, so that was totally fine. So that's all. You did nothing wrong. Just yeah, that was comical how crazy that was. Swear to God, sometimes Palms is just like an anime protagonist, just getting up there. I don't even know. I don't even watch anime.
Yeah,
I just feel like that's something someone would do.
That's the second point that like he got that really should like that's our second Palms circuit sketch.
I know people joke like I'm the tallest person in the league, but I don't know. Palms is looking pretty tall right now. Palms is looking. Let me see if I can get this freeze frame here. Right there, like Palms is looking pretty tall. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at that. That is that's a tall guy right there. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, I just boosted it down there so that we had our defense set up by the time they but I really just wanted to walk down.
I need to upload a video. I am the worst. I'm sorry. I have a video on pull statistics, and in the fourth quarter of a game, in the second half of the second half, it is statistically better to intentionally throw bricks. You are correct in doing that, Paul. And I actually have the statistics. It's like, I forget what the number is off the top of my head. It's like a third of the benefit of a pull, like of pulling normal. Like it just falls off a cliff in the fourth quarter of games. I don't even know if I want to talk about this. How many crazy throws he just had in a row there. A no look. Good one hand, and then just a blade right over top of everybody. Aaron was in a great spot. Again, like I said, Aaron's a beast on defense. Like she was like almost there too.
Yeah.
Cause it's like hard to remember, but like that's a gender mismatch too. Like she's like playing like a monster.
Yeah, and that was a break throw, a break blade. Like how often are you in a position to make a play on a break blade? Yeah,
I mean gender mismatch, high break blade to the break side. It's just like, and she still almost had it. She had fingertips on it probably. Did you see Scott? He faked Scott out. He goes to pull it. He hesitates. then Scott.
dude, Scott just experienced a Richter scale of
I
a
know.
4, dude.
Dude, he got trolled. I should
Dude.
not have thrown that. Yeah, he got trolled so hard there. Oh, I didn't mean to scoot that far back. Yeah.
That was funny.
No way should I have thrown that right there, for the record. That was absolutely not the correct throw. Fortunately, Scott got rickrolled and wasn't ready with his full momentum to make a play on the disc there.
Wait, hold on. How many people cut to that right there? So look, to this strike cut, me, Aaron, and you, we're all three of, we're like, hey, how's it going? So he just had to throw to Peterson to punt, probably.
Yeah, the thing that we talked about was right here. TJ didn't throw it to me. We talked about this after the point. TJ didn't throw it to me when I'm saying, hey, don't throw it to me. Hover it in space and let me go get it. Because he was waiting for me to get open, but Scott, being Scott, jumped in the way of it. But I was like, because he did a good job of getting between me and him. But I told him after the point, it's like, hey, you don't have to throw it at me. Just hover it in space. Like, I'll go get it. So that was the that was the coaching point. And a stall was stall. Okay. Yeah, stall. Rip. What is TJ with good sportsmanship? What is that? Once again, Aaron is like fingertip away from that. I want to get this freeze frame here. Like, you can't see it. Well, right there. Like how close she is to getting a finger on that. As she gets more comfortable with space, she's gonna start getting a bunch of Ds.
But she already has a good amount.
I know. She's gonna get a ton more because she's been so close on so many. Sorry, I'm having a good time now. She throws it and then puts her hands up like, oh, I didn't mean to throw it that close. That's funny. All right. That was not very educational. Sorry. I was just laughing at it. It was good, though. It worked. And this disc was just out of my hand. I don't know. This just didn't come out of my hand right. That was just me forcing it low. If I had thrown this high, it would have been a touchdown, pretty much guaranteed, because Matt had the opening there. I just threw it super low. So that was my mistake there. It's all good, though. But I had that throw. That was just, I don't know. It just didn't come out of my hand good. Feels bad. And then that was another example of just them playing clutch time. Hammer, break side. That's rough. Especially on a gender mid. It's rough. So, yeah. Chin up on that one, Aaron. That was a crazy catch. And if they're going to catch every pass like that, then let them, It's just, they deserve it. I guess it's the last point of the game. Yeah, Scott was coming barreling downfield, so I was like, I'm not throwing it to you, TJ. Because we knew at this point, there's not that much time left in the game. We can kind of swing the disc as much as we want, and time is our friend.
Oh, no, wait. There's a picture that, of me catching that catch on Ferris. Sorry, that
right there.
Yeah, the Connolly sister.
If you send it to me, I'll put it in the video. I'll clip it in right now. Like it'll be on the screen as I'm talking now. If you're
okay.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll put it in the video. I'm gonna pretend like I saw it and say, yeah, that was freaking awesome, dude. That video was cool. That picture was cool. But I didn't actually see it. I've never seen it. Yep, good job. When it's on the force side sideline, we want to get it off that force side sideline. Same thing there. It's like I don't want it to come off, but I looked over and I was like, oh yeah, Mike's not looking at me, so I can just turn around. And by the time he recognizes that I did something, it's just a free catch. Yep, and this is a perfect example of just disciplined offense. Just like, hey, take these resets.
Hold on, wait. So go back to where TJ just caught it. So count how many times I run back and forth on this point.
2. You just go back and forth. Churning it, baby.
Dude, Ferris was so tired. He said he was so gassed this entire point.
I think it's gonna stop her. It's paused. What's happening here? I can't pause it. I think my computer froze. I think it's still recording. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just manually back up. Nope, we're playing here. So yeah, right here, TJ. It was this question whether TJ was in. Two of the defenders said in, and one defender said not in, and I think that's why the confusion happened, because their team made a call, like that. So I think that was the. Yeah, I have no idea why I lost control of my client there. That's so awkward. But yeah, basically, it was late in the game, and it's like the reason that you weren't getting open is because like Mike was like everybody was poaching this open space, and they were just giving us the rounds for free. And it's like, especially when they are in a time crunch, you can't do that if you're gonna make a comeback.
That's I was just counting them for comical effect.
Oh yeah, but that's kind of just the moral of the story. You know, I understand the idea behind like wanting to do that. And I guess we'll do the formal review here.
TJ, that was
right
great
there. His feet are on the ground with the disc in his hand, and that's why it's not in. He has the jump to get in, but I think that usually like our team's pretty good about not overly analyzing calls. But Mike called it in. I think Matt called it in. Scott said not in, or two people said it was in.
Matt stared at his feet and he said that it wasn't in. Matt was just looking at the feet.
Yeah, because Mike actually was walking back to the line, and I told him, "Hey, hold up, there's a call," and he's like, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, it was in." So I think that's why the confusion was, because usually if the other team tells you that it was a detrimental call to themselves, usually it's like, I'm gonna take that a little more serious. And I was right here. I was pointing. I was like, "Hey, just here. Scott's a tiebreaker. Whatever Scott says goes." And then it was kind of time up anyway. And I was like, okay, fine, just call it. Not in. That's not a big deal because we were going to win anyway. I actually didn't know how much time was left on the clock at this point. And the buzzer surprised me there. So, but yeah, if there's any other points you want to add, otherwise, I think that is a reasonable review of the game. I definitely appreciate all the input that you added. It's been very helpful.
No, it was awesome. I think that we highlighted like the communication for cutters and handlers. Keep in mind the handlers can, like, we didn't do this much, but like the handlers can initiate the communication as well. Like we were talking a lot about like cutters initiating the communication, but it goes both ways.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the moral of the story is, number one, our handle set just needs to have a little bit more confidence and throw to space better. Scott is a beast. Elizabeth, have more confidence. You are a very good cutter. Did they put a 0 in Macedonia there? And also the thumbnail is going to be Dan twerking. So okay. I think that's all we got. Thanks for watching, and take care.
Yeah, thank you.